Yo, these dating apps be doing the most. However, you can still make the best of it. Today I'm talking about the do's and don'ts of online dating. Go ahead and cue my theme music. Hey Rebel, welcome to Untoxify Your Relationship. Here we will talk about all things healthy and how to get that toxic mess out of you and your partnership. I'm your host, Melissa Webb, a practicing licensed mental health therapist with 10 years experience. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. So before I hop into the subject today, pause the podcast right now, get your phone out, go to the show notes, hit the link that says vote for Melissa for Best Faith-Based Podcast. Get your vote in and then go ahead and hit play. Matter of fact, do that right now because we're going to be here. Do it, vote, and then come back because you only have until September 30th to vote. So all votes need to be in by then. We're trying to win Best Faith-Based Podcast, Untoxify Your Relationship. So go ahead and vote. Anyway, I wanted to do this topic on online dating for a while, but I never really knew how to approach it. And then over the week, as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I can do the do's and don'ts of online dating because your girl has done online dating. And I got some stories. I got a lot of stories from doing online dating. Some were good. I have some good stories. I also have some really horrible ones. So one of my stories is the Waffle House kidnapping. So we were messaging back and forth on one of the dating sites, and I told him I was hungry. He came and picked me up. First of all, I got catfish because he did not look like his profile pic. Then on top of that, we were going to go get something to eat like 10 minutes from my house. We end up going to St. Charles. If anybody's from St. Louis, you know St. Charles from downtown. It's a really long way. It's about 40 minutes. And I was like, where are you taking me? And so he took me to Waffle House. So I feel like I got kidnapped and he took me to Waffle House. So that's a Waffle House kidnapping. I actually talked about it in that earlier episode. It's a whole story. Go listen to it. The second terrible or horrible date was the terrible tea time. I went out with a guy. We went to this tea place, and it's a really cute tea place here in St. Louis. And we were good. And we started talking about politics, and he just got really into what he was talking about, and I wasn't agreeing. And then he ended up going to the bathroom, and the owner kind of looked at me like, girl, you good? And I was like, I'm good. So I gave him a thumbs up. He gave me a thumbs up, and he just kind of watched me the whole time until we kind of left. It was weird. Needless to say, I did not call either of those people back. But I did have some good times. I went on a couple of good dates. I kicked it with one person, and I ended up beating him on the pool table because he thought he was going to beat me. He didn't know that I had a pool table in my basement growing up, so I knew how to play pool. I whooped him. When I say I whooped him, baby, I whooped them. And then with somebody else, I end up actually becoming really cool with them. As a matter of fact, he cut grass. So he ended up cutting my mama grass. He ended up hooking me up with a grass person. And then I end up hooking him up with therapy with one of my friends. So needless to say, like, that came a friendship. I even met my child's father on the dating app. So I've had some interesting meetings with people when doing the dating apps. So whether you're dating online or you're doing real life dating, it's all about having fun throughout the process. From the start of, creating your profile all the way to actually going to meet someone on the first date. So doing my online experience, what I didn't talk about with all these stories, even the horrible ones to the good ones, was how much fun I have meeting new people. I just like meeting new people. The part that I did not like, or the part that was not fun for me, was the process. The starting the profile and getting on the sites, weeding through the people, having people that just want to have sex versus the people who actually looking for a relationship, the messaging folks. I remember one time I messaged someone, they were like, did you read my profile? And I was like, no, I just kind of swiped right on the picture. And so he like, go check a look at my profile. His profile literally said, only on here to have sex. And if you're not about that, don't message me. And I was like, whoa, my bad. He was like, it's all good. We'll talk to you later. I was like, okay. Weird. It's that process. I never really enjoyed the process. I just enjoyed the dates. So it's that thought of, I have to start over again. That was always my thought anytime I got on one of these apps to start a profile, to go through the whole process of trying to find somebody, it was always that thought of, I have to start over again. Why do I have to start over again? This is dumb. If the last person would have just did this, or if I would have just did that, then I would still be in a relationship and I wouldn't have to start over. So just having that mindset of having to start over and maybe not even healing from my last relationship made it really hard to be on these apps and actually have a good time. So each time a date don't work out or I switch different apps, I was always using this thought or always having this thought. So of course, online dating was not fun. So today I want to focus on the do's and don'ts of online dating. The how do you have fun dating, or how do you make your profile stand out, versus the things you don't do to make dating on the apps miserable. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So I'm going to give you all a blueprint to follow when it comes to online dating, and it's 6 of them. So the first one is you got to do the prep work or the preparation before starting online dating or real life dating. The first thing you need to do is you do need to have a positive mindset. Philippians 4:8 tells us what to focus on to have a positive mindset. It says, think on things that are true, noble, pure, lovely, admirable. If anything is excellent and praiseworthy, those are the things that you're supposed to think about. And when you think about those things, you will experience God's peace. So it's easy to have a good time when you're thinking about those things. The first thing it tells you to think about is things that are true. So remember that when you're trying to change your mindset and try to have a positive mindset, make sure you're thinking of things that are true. It may be true that you don't want to start over, and starting over means new beginnings. It means that you're going into a situation with a fresh perspective of how things can go and what not to do, and what you did in your last relationship is not what you're going to do in this new relationship. Going into it with a healed heart versus, last time you went into a relationship. So yes, you're starting over and it is something new. However, new things can be good. You have to reframe how you're thinking before going into any dating situation. What you don't want to do is you don't want to put so much pressure on yourself to find the quote unquote the one. So for all my ladies out there, I just want to let you know that he will find you. The person that is your person, so to speak, they will find you. Ruth didn't go looking for Boaz. When Boaz found her, she was available. And what does it mean to be available? I mean, being open to the process, being healed and healthy and whole before going into this process. So that means you're available to receive whatever God is going to give you. Availability is everything, because if you're not available, then why are we doing this, right? You might want to just take a step back and just let everybody else date until you get to the point to where you feel like it is time for you to start dating. You and God have a conversation and he's like, yes, daughter, it is time. So make sure you're in the right mind frame and also make sure that you're available when this is happening. The other thing you need to do, you need to know your needs and wants and your non-negotiables before dating. So what are needs? Needs are the things that you absolutely cannot live without. So I always explain this by talking about ice cream. Don't ask me why. I don't even like ice cream like that, but it actually makes a good analogy. So what do you need to make an ice cream sundae? Well, one, ice cream, right? So pick your favorite ice cream and that's what you need. You need ice cream. You might also need strawberries and blueberries on your ice cream, because if that's how you eat your ice cream, that's how you eat your ice cream. That's your business. When it comes to a partner, you may need respect, or you may need for them to have a job, right? You may need for them to have a master's degree, because you got a master's degree and you like, I can't be dating somebody who don't have a master's degree. Again, that's your business. The wants is things like if you have it, cool. If you don't have it, cool. So the wants, when it comes back to your ice cream, the want may be whipped cream or the want may be chocolate sauce. It's like, yeah, if I have those things, that's great. But if I don't have them, I'm okay with just having my ice cream and my strawberries and my blueberries. So a want can be, when you're talking about a partner, can be, oh, they have to make, oh, you want them to make six figures. Don't necessarily have to, but if they're making it, that's great. If they're not, that's also okay. And then the non-negotiables. Non-negotiables are like the things that you're allergic to, the things that you're restricted, like you got to restrict yourself from, or like the intolerable things that you just cannot deal with. So, for example, I have a gluten intolerance, which means I cannot eat gluten. If I eat gluten, it's going to eat up my intestines, my small intestines, and I'm going to have smelly farts. That's just how my life is set up right now. This is where we're at, right? When it comes back to your ice cream, let's say you're allergic to peanuts. Your non-negotiable is I can't have anything with nuts because you're going to have an allergic reaction, and now we need an EpiPen. So that's how it should be when it comes to your non-negotiables with dating. What is it that you cannot have? What is intolerable? What are you allergic to? That if that shows up in your partnership or in your relationship, you're going to need an EpiPen, or your small intestines lining going to be eaten up, like with me and my gluten. Or even if you have celiac, I know it gets real deep if you got celiac, right? So that can be anything, like a controlling partner, someone who smokes or drinks, right? I know a lot of people, when I was working one-on-one with people, they were like, I don't care if they smoke, but they definitely can't drink. Or I can't do either, right? Some people like, I don't want you to have kids. And you know what? That's okay. That's your business. But you have to know what those things are before going into dating. Because if you don't, you're going to be guessing the entire time. And you're going to be going out with people not knowing what you're allergic to, constantly using EpiPens, or putting stuff on your ice cream where you like, yeah, I thought I liked strawberries, but I may just like papaya, so just know what you know what you need, want, and what you're allergic to before going into any relationship. That will make it easier on you and make it easier on the people that you're trying to find or the people that you're dating, because you already know they align with your list. What you don't want to do is you don't want to make a list for your partner and not make a list for yourself, because you need a list too. Because not only do you want your partner to show up in their best authentic self, you also need to show up as your best authentic self. So the first question I always tell people to ask themselves is, who are you now that you're a single woman or a single man? Because identity is everything. So, for example, if you were married and now you're dating, you don't know what your identity is as a single person now versus when you were married, and you always stay in that married identity, then everybody you date, you're going to treat them as if they're your husband or your wife, because you haven't switched your mindset. You haven't changed who you are now, since now you're a single person. So that will look like you going on dates and automatically being like, oh, okay, this is my husband or my wife. So you're going to start doing husband and wife things when you're actually a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And that's just going to turn out to be disastrous. So identity is everything. If you don't operate in your proper identity, you can sabotage the promise. I always talk about the children of Israel because I love their story. They didn't know who they were. They knew who they were in Egypt. They knew they were slaves in Egypt. As soon as they got in the wilderness, they did not change their identity. Like, they literally was about to sabotage everything to go back to Egypt for some leeks. Like, they were like, we're tired of eating manna. I want them leeks that we had up in Egypt. Can we just go back? Why are y'all still in bondage when God has freed y'all? They never changed their identity. They did not know who they were outside of slaves in Egypt. They even sabotaged going into the promised land. They saw themselves as grasshoppers. And then they said, they see us as grasshoppers too. How do you know? How do you know what they're thinking? Did you ask them? Absolutely not. But they had some self-sabotaging things happening because they did not know their identity. We can do the same things. So we don't know who we are in the season that we're currently in. You can sabotage the whole thing. And we don't want that. So you need to ask yourself, who am I as a single man or woman? Next question you need to ask yourself is, what are the things that I need to work on? These are the things that's immediate. So if you need to work on healing, you might want to do that before you start dating. If you need to work on, whatever else, you need to do those things before you start dating. What are things I want to work on? Because that might not be as immediate as healing. You might want to work on, getting a better job and making more money. Yes, that's important. And healing is also probably above that. If that's what it's for you, that's what it is for you, right? But, definitely ask yourself, what are things I need to work on? What are things I want to work on? And then who can help me with these things that I need to work on, right? Do I need to go see a therapist? Do I need to go to a financial coach or whatever, right? So you need to identify who can help you. And then, as always, pray and ask God to reveal your shortcomings, because God gonna reveal them if you pray about it. So he will be able to do that. And the last thing in this chapter 1 of preparation is, do pray. Get aligned with God to figure out how to move forward. You can't align with something that you're not supposed to be aligned with. So what I mean by that is, when you're dating, and if you're not aligned with God, then it's going to be hard for you to align with others, right? You have to be one with the Father, so that way you can get the inside scoop, the secret details of everything that's happening in your dating life. He will reveal, Holy Spirit will be like, yo, sis, this ain't it, or yo, bro, this ain't the one. I need you to move on. But if you're not aligned with God like that, you will miss it every time. I'm a witness. I have missed it because I was not aligned with God the way I should have been when going into dating. So don't make my mistake. Get aligned with God, because if you don't, you'll be trying to align with something that you're not even supposed to be aligned with. And then we're going to be attached to something or someone that can harm you. And that's not what God wants for your life. He wants to give you the best, but you have to want the best. So in order to get the best, we got to do some work. We got to do some things to get us in position to get what God wants for us. All right, so we got aligned. We out here, we heal, we drinking our water, we exercising, we did all the work, we figured out who we want our person to be. Now it's time for chapter 2, the platform. What platform are you going to choose? It's a lot of dating apps out here, y'all. Dating apps, online, whatever. It's a lot of them. So do pick the right platform for you. Like I said, it's a lot of them. We got eHarmony, Bumble, Match, Tinder, Stir. That's my St. Louis accent coming out, Stir. Which is a single parenting app. And then we got Upward, which is a Christian app. Plenty of Fish, Christian Mingle. So it's a lot of different apps out here. Don't get on a platform that don't align with you. So I know Tinder is known as being a hookup dating app. If that ain't your lifestyle, that ain't what you want, you probably shouldn't be on Tinder. If you like, I want to find me a godly man or woman, you might want to get on Upward or Christian Mingle or whatever. If you want to pay for a subscription, then maybe eHarmony and Match may be your thing, right? So, or you might want to go get a dating service, right, where they can hook you up with online singles. So it really depends on what your needs are and what you want and what you're looking for. So if you're not aligning with Tinder, don't get on Tinder. You don't have to get on all the apps. Get on the app that works for you. And also, don't get on the app if you're not ready to date, because now you're wasting your time and somebody else's time. That goes back to praying and making sure you're aligned with God. Chapter 3. So picking that platform is easy. Then we go to chapter 3, which we're going to start talking about the profile now. So when it comes to your picture, that's chapter 3 is the picture, do use a real picture. Please use an updated picture, because like I said, the Waffle House kidnapping, dude did not look like nothing like his picture. When I asked him about it, he was like, that picture like 2-3 years old. Why are we using a picture that's 2 to 3 years old? You know how much we change in 2 to 3 years? My son is literally 3. I do not look like I look like when I had that baby. I had natural hair, now I have dreads. What are we doing, right? So make sure you're using an updated picture. Do smile because everybody loves to see a good smile. Do have character in your picture. So I mean, get a picture of you doing a hobby. If you like to garden, get a picture of you gardening. If you funny or you're quirky, that definitely get a picture that captures that. But you want a picture that will capture your character and who you are. Don't be behind sunglasses or a hat. I'm okay if it's just like one picture, but all your pictures shouldn't be like that. I'm so used to seeing dudes on dating apps, and they're either, they got that one bathroom picture, that one pose that's like right smack dab in their face, and they always got sunglasses on. And I'm like, or they always got a hat on. So then when you do meet them, they take the hat off. It's like, oh snap, you're balding, or you have receding hairline, and that's not sexy for me. Again, you got one, that's what's up. For me, that's not for me. Don't do a sexy face or don't do a duck face. Don't nobody want to see that. Matter of fact, duck faces are out. That was so like 2010, right? So don't do that. So you might think them faces cute. Other people might not think them faces cute. So I'm going to go ahead and say, don't do that. The other thing you do need to do when it comes to your picture is give a variety. So give me a good selfie. Give me a good, chest on up picture. Give me a good, full length picture. So we need to have a variety of pictures because I want people to know what they're getting into. Hey, this is me. This is face up. This is a good selfie. And you about to get a full body. And do be modest with your pictures. Like, don't be out here half naked and putting these pictures on your profile. That ain't what we want because you will attract the things that are attracted to those pictures. And if you put something that's, revealing, you may attract those types of people. So just be mindful of the pictures that you are putting on your profile. All right, chapter 4. Now we're getting to the profile. So this is our 4th P, profile. Do be truthful on your profile. Do actually write something on your profile. Do you know how many people actually don't write anything on their profile and it just say Instagram and they put their handle, or TikTok they put their handle, or Snapchat they put their handle, and that's it? What are we doing? Do be truthful. Do actually put something on there. Don't lie. That's one of the commandments. Do not lie. Why are we lying? Don't do that. Don't overshare. Leave something to the imagination. Leave some mystery to your profile. Do write 3/4 about you and 1/4 about who you're looking for. And I will also say it'll be cool, like whatever you're putting in your profile, if you have pictures to match that, then I think that would definitely tell a story. So your profile should and will and probably hopefully tell a story about who you are. It should be a quick snapshot of, okay, this is Melissa Webb. Okay, Melissa Webb like cooking. So of course I'm gonna have a picture of cooking, and I'm also gonna have that in my profile. Me being goofy, I'm gonna have a goofy picture of me, and I'm gonna have, I'm goofy in my profile. So your profile should tell a whole story about who you are and what you're looking for. Oh, last but not least, do run spell check. You know how much I talk about people who can't spell or who use there, and there in the wrong ways. Like, I'm like, yeah, you used the wrong there. Oh, your, and your, that's another one. Like, make sure you're using the right word in the right context. And please spell check, because I'm going to talk about you. And also, that's a turn off. I hate when people can't use the right word for the right situation. Again, that's me. And those are my quirks. Chapter 5, the process. Remember how I talked about the process earlier? Well, I'm going to say this. Do enjoy the process, or do find some positivity in the process. So the process is the messaging people and also the meeting people. So going out on dates. So when you are messaging, do comment on something in the other person's profile and ask for like a follow-up picture, a follow-up question. So that can be, if they have a picture of them being in Paris, you can say, "Oh wow, I love your picture in front of the Eiffel Tower. Tell me, when did you go? Did you go in the fall? Because I've been to Paris in the fall and I didn't really like it. Did you enjoy it?" Something like that, right? Just to kind of get the conversation going, so that way you all can have something to talk about. Please do not message them saying, "Hey, you cute, how you doing? Where you work?" And just start interrogating them. That feels very, I'm on an interview for a job, right? We want the conversation to be as smooth as possible and not interviewee, but very much like I'm just having a conversation with you. Think of it as like you're getting your coffee at Starbucks and somebody behind you just started a conversation. You're going to be like, "Hey, how old are you? Where do you work? Where you been in my whole life?" Right? We're not, you don't do that. You start talking about whatever it is that you guys are talking about and you go from there. So be natural. Make it natural. Don't trip if the conversation don't go anywhere, because that happens. Sometimes you just don't have anything to say to people after a while. Sometimes the messaging sizzle. Sometimes the other person stops messaging. Well, I don't know what be going on, but don't trip off of it. That just means that you dodged the bullet. Don't ghost people. My biggest pet peeve is ghosting people when they don't deserve it. Sometimes ghosting is needed. Other times it's not. And this is one of them times when it's not. If you don't like them, just say, "No, I'm not feeling you." Or, "No, this is not for me." Or, "Nah, I'm good. Like, you go have a great life." Kind of like with the dude who was like, "I'm just out here trying to have sex." And I was like, "Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm not on that." He was like, "That's cool. Enjoy your life." Bam, right? Like, it can really be that simple. Don't ghost people though, because that's rude and you wouldn't want nobody ghosting you, so don't ghost nobody. Do report people that are suspicious, rude, or just plain out weird, right? Because it's a lot of creeps out here, and the last thing we need is for a creeper to be creeping on you. So report them. Report them, and get them off the internet, because they creeping on you, they probably creeping on somebody else. So save a life and report creepers. Now, when you're going on dates, do go to a public place. Don't be weird and meet them at their house. Or don't be weird and let them meet you at your house. No one should be getting picked up on the first date. We should be meeting them at a public place to have a date. So don't have them pick you up on the first date. Maybe the third or fourth date they can pick you up. But, safety and just the world we live in now, I don't think it's wise to have someone pick you up at your house. Do go to a restaurant. Do go to get coffee or tea. Go to a bookstore. Go somewhere where you can actually talk. The movies is not where you can actually talk. Somewhere where it's loud. It's not like the club or like a lounge. It's not somewhere where you can actually talk. Go somewhere where you can sit down, maybe have a light coffee, a light meal, or maybe a heavy meal because you're hungry and y'all meeting after work. But go somewhere. The park is great. Have a picnic. Do something where you guys can sit down and have a conversation. So that's one thing I would say. Have a conversation. The whole point of the date is to learn if you like this person or if you want to keep going on other dates with these people. Do dress nice for the date. Do not wear heels if you're going to play mini golf, or do not wear a 3-piece suit if you're going bowling. So you need to dress for the date that you're going on. I am a J's, Dunks, Blazer, any Nike shoe or a Converse. That's me. I don't care how dressed up I am. I'm putting on Nike, and that's just me. However, I'm still dressing for where I need to go. If I got to put on a heel, okay. If I got to put on a nice sandal, okay. But I'm dressing for whatever date I'm on. So they're going to get these J's. You got to figure out what that is for you, right? I will just say dress appropriately for wherever you're going. And just ask them, where are we going on this date? So that way you can prepare for your dress attire, because that's important. You don't have to decide if you want to go on the second date during the first date. I know it's a lot of pressure of like, oh my God, are we going to go on the second date or not? Who knows and who cares, right? Just enjoy yourself, enjoy the moment, And if you guys decide, if the date's going really good and you decide to do a second date while you're on the date, okay, cool. If there was no decision, okay, cool. Just enjoy yourself and just have fun. So now you had the date, and now in chapter 6, we're talking about patience. We want to make sure that you are patient with the overall process of dating. Now, this can go for online dating or real life dating, because I think you have to have, not I think, I know you have to have patience when it comes to dating. So do relax. Relax, because it's not that serious. I know some people who are like, I'm 26, I'm getting old, I have to get married in like 2 years. You have time, right? So relax. It's not that big of a deal. After a date, if they call you, great. If they don't call you, great. You just need to make sure that you are having a good time, that you have a positive mindset about dating, and that you are always finding good things out of the dates. Even like my Waffle House kidnapping, I laugh about it to this day. My friend always brings it up. Remember you got kidnapped and went to Waffle House? And I was on the phone with her like the entire time. We laugh about it. Even during the time, I was not scared. I was laughing about it. So you just have to find some positivity in everything. So I will say this. No one likes to be rejected, but it happens. So if you do go on a date and the second date doesn't happen, it's okay. Rejection is rejection. It hurts. Process it, accept it, move on, and then start over, because starting over again is not a bad thing. Starting over is definitely okay. The last thing is, don't be discouraged. You are a catch. No one ever told you that you're a catch. I'm letting you know today that you are a catch. You are made in God's image, so it doesn't matter what people think about you. You have to think about you as the best thing out here since sliced bread. So it's all about you internally. How do you feel about you? Where's your self-esteem? Where do you find your identity? Do you find your identity from someone that you're dating, or do you get your identity from Christ? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. All this other stuff, it's just extra. So as long as you're okay with you, you had a self-esteem that you want to have, you are authentic and you believe in yourself, and you know at the end of the day that you know that you are a royal priesthood and you are a daughter or a son of the King, like that's all that matters. Like I said, dating is cool, but as long as you find your identity in Christ, because that's what matters, is your identity in Christ. And if you seek first the kingdom of God, all these things will be added. All these things, that includes dating. That includes your person. So make sure you know who you are and whose you are, and seek the kingdom. Everything else will be added to you. That's it. That's the post. Like I said, go ahead and vote. Vote for Best Faith-Based Podcast, Untoxify Your Relationship, for the Women in Podcasting Awards. Thanks for listening. It's always an honor to do these episodes with you all. Tell your auntie, uncle, and cousin them about the show. Tell everybody, because I'm trying to get more listeners. I want to reach more people. As always, stay non-toxic, stay classy, and I will see y'all next time. Peace. Thank you for listening. Go ahead and share this episode with your family and friends. Don't forget to check out the quiz to figure out what your toxic trait is. The link is in the show notes. Thank you, and see you next time.